Valor Mortis was one of the most striking surprises at Gamescom 2025. From the creators of Ghost Runner, this new project trades neon rooftops for plague-ridden battlefields, throwing players into a dark reimagining of Napoleonic Europe. You play as William, a fallen French soldier resurrected in a world where war has twisted into something far more monstrous. The Gamescom trailer showcased a first-person Souls-like unlike anything we've seen before. Brutal melee clashes, desperate parries, and supernatural powers known as transmutations that warp combat in unpredictable ways. William's journey isn't just about survival, it's about mastering a corrupted strength while navigating a Metroidvania-style world of ruined villages, infested forests, and grotesque bosses waiting in the shadows. What stood out most is how much DNA from Ghost Runner remains. Combat is fast, precise, and unforgiving, but now layered with heavier weapons, dual wielding options, and a progression system that rewards every risk. The world design invites exploration with hidden paths, optional challenges, and choices that test both reflexes and patience. Developed by One More Level and published by Lyrical Games, Valor Mortis is set to launch in 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Our gods have forsaken us for fear of the coming darkness consumes all but you. Lamp bearer, something stirs within you. Something ancient, powerful, hungry. So I ask you, will you harness this darkness within and deliver unto our so-called lords retribution? But should you fall, the world falls with you.
Lords of the Fallen 2 opened Gamescom 2025 with a cinematic trailer drenched in dread, setting the stage for the next chapter in this dark fantasy saga. The reveal confirmed the story leaps forward a century after the original, as the umbral corruption spreads further than ever, poisoning both the living world and the realm of the dead. The Gamescom showcase centered on the Umbral Lamp, a cursed relic that now plays an even greater role. Shifting between worlds is more dangerous than before, twisted horrors stalk you in the shadows, and the thin line between life and death is always collapsing underfoot. The trailer showed warriors clashing in ruined cathedrals and desolate wastelands, the air thick with despair as ancient forces stir awake. Combat builds on the refinements introduced in the first game's rebirth. Faster, heavier, and more punishing, every strike looks decisive, with brutal execution animations punctuating the action. The tone remains unflinching. This is a world of horror, of sacrifice, and of enemies that test your patience as much as your skill. Developed by CI Games, Lords of the Fallen 2 is scheduled to launch in 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC.
Brother, help me here.
You ain't even trying. It's all me. Look at that belly of yours. Where's the mountain? Hey, you're falling flat, losing again.
Drop that codswallop. Master will take us back, as long as we keep that mountain in her heart. Hey.
No scolding, no flogging, life spared. Why risk going back? This place, we've got food on our table and...
Black Myth Zhong was one of the surprise reveals at Gamescom 2025, expanding the mythic universe game science began with Wukong. The cinematic trailer introduced Zhong, known in Chinese folklore as the ghost-catching god who roams between the realms of hell and earth. The footage opened on two desperate men fleeing in the night, only to cut to a striking image of Zhong himself riding atop a massive tiger, a symbol of his supernatural power and dominion over spirits. Unlike Wukong's martial fantasy, this project leans into darker mythological horror. While the Gamescom teaser didn't show gameplay, it set the tone with grand cinematic style, blending haunting landscapes with epic myth. Zhong role as a vanquisher of demons suggests a game filled with spectral enemies, supernatural combat, and a narrative deeply rooted in Chinese ghost lore. Game Science confirmed that Zhong is a standalone entry in the Black Myth saga, not a direct continuation of Wukong, but sharing the same ambition to fuse ancient legend with cutting-edge technology. The game is still in early development, and no release date has been set, but it is confirmed for PC and all major consoles.
Can you describe the sound in the recording? Let's go back to the start.
I remember the wind, strong wind. What the hell happened here?
We got company!
But sometimes, loss can birth beasts and bury truths. What do you think? What if you are the beast?
The beast?
Project Spectrum had its world premiere at Gamescom 2025, revealing a brand new first-person shooter steeped in psychological horror. The trailer opened with a chilling interrogation as a shaken soldier recalls a mission inside an Ember Zone, territories warped by radiant anomalies that twist cities, landscapes, and even human minds. From there, we saw glimpses of distorted environments, firefights against both creatures and rival agents, and tense sequences where sanity itself becomes a resource you fight to preserve. Gameplay blends tactical shooting with survival mechanics. You step into the role of an operator recruiting and leading elite agents on expeditions into Ember Zones. Missions demand not only gunplay, but creative use of the environment, on-the-fly crafting, and the nerve to face threats that defy reason. What makes it unique is the PvPvE layer. Beyond the monsters born of the Ember, other hostile players can invade your mission as executioners, forcing you to survive both supernatural terror and human cunning. Visually, Spectrum harnesses Unreal Engine 5 to push dense, atmospheric lighting and warping geometry that keeps the world unsettling. Team Jade, the studio behind Delta Force, confirmed the project has been in development for 2 years, building towards a shooter that's as much about fear as it is about firepower. Project Spectrum is currently in development for PC, with more platforms to be confirmed. No release date has been announced.
Millions of souls pour into the underworld every day. You're no different. My lord, he's here.
I bid you walk the mortal world once more. Fallen leaves return to their roots. You shall gather the souls that stray.
I've watched over this city for ages, and every name in your scroll of death. Not one of them dies quietly. You, a soulless husk. You can judge my fate! Why wrestle rogues when their artifacts can do what brute strength cannot?
What? The soulless husk?
The living cast their dead to flame, and sacrifice ignites the war banners!
Here we go again.
Swords of Legends return to the spotlight at Gamescom 2025 with a reveal that redefines the future of one of China's most acclaimed RPG franchises. The new trailer introduced us to Si Pen, an underworld enforcer tasked with guiding reluctant souls back to the living, a duty that quickly spirals into a battle against forces that refuse to stay bound by death. The Gamescom showcase made it clear this isn't another punishing Souls-like. Instead, Orogon Shanghai is leaning into accessibility and strategy, crafting an action RPG where combat is fluid but never overwhelming. One of the standout mechanics is soul capturing, defeat enemies and summon them to fight at your side, turning every encounter into an opportunity to expand your arsenal. The world itself follows a quote wide linear design, offering narrative focus while still letting players explore richly detailed environments. The tone sits somewhere between myth and tragedy, balancing martial arts spectacle with a darker tale about duty, death, and redemption. For the first time in series history, Swords of Legends will launch simultaneously in the West, fully localized on day one. Platforms and release timing haven't been revealed yet, but Gamescom 2025 marked a true global debut for this legendary franchise.
Your weapon or we'll shoot!
Drop your weapon, last warning!
You've crossed the line. Are you trying to get us all killed here?
3 minutes to drop. Everyone stand by.
Cinder City lit up Gamescom 2025 with a high-octane gameplay trailer reintroducing NCSoft's long-rumored Project LLL under its new title. The footage dropped players into a devastated Seoul, its familiar district swallowed by fire and ruin, then thrust them into the role of a futuristic knight on a desperate search for his missing daughter. The Gamescom showcase hammered home scale and spectacle. Tight corridor firefights spilled into vast arenas where squads clashed against towering mechs, while open-world exploration shifted into high-speed vehicular combat through a city drowning in chaos. Whether fighting solo or alongside friends, the action carried an MMO edge, squad coordination, loot systems, and shared world intensity pulsing through every battle. Visually, it's powered by Unreal Engine 5, blending the grit of a ruined 23rd century Seoul with cutting-edge fidelity. Sparks, neon, and ash filled the air as the trailer cut between cinematic storytelling and raw in-engine combat, reminding players this isn't just a shooter, but a lived-in dystopia where survival and humanity collide. With NCSoft and Big Fire Games steering the project, Cinder City is set to launch in 2026 for PC and console.
I need to become more than a man. I need to become a symbol.
What did you have in mind?
Who are you? I'm Batman. Why so serious? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
I'm allergic to nuts.
Who's the man behind the mask?
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight made its debut at Gamescom 2025, bringing the Caped Crusader back in a way fans have never seen before. The trailer revealed a massive open-world Gotham City alive with neon skylines, towering spires, and the classic LEGO humor woven into every detail. This time the story isn't just about Batman, it's about Bruce Wayne's full journey from League of Shadows trainee to Gotham's Dark Knight. The Gamescom showcase gave us a look at the allies and enemies shaping that journey. Nightwing, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Robin join the fight, while villains like Joker, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Ra's and Bane return with over-the-top LEGO flair. combat has evolved too, with a new combo and counter system inspired by Arkham games, only here it's packed with slapstick animations and playful finishers that still feel impactful. Traversal looked just as varied as combat. Players can glide across rooftops, grapple between skyscrapers, or jump into Bat vehicles like the Batmobile and Batcycle. Gadgets also play a central role. Batarangs, Batclaws, foam sprayers, and Catwoman's whip all featured in the demo, making Gotham feel like a true playground for experimentation. LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight launches in 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC.
We had a deal, Seeker. I gave you a second chance. In return, hunt down those that hide from me. So go now and slay Seeker. Lest you wash up again on my shores, your frail body shattered and broken.
Kaidan was one of the most mysterious reveals during Gamescom 2025, showcased at the Future Game Show. The trailer leans heavily into eerie Japanese folklore, drawing on the word Kaidan itself, which means ghost story in Japanese. We see haunting environments, dimly lit villages, shadowy forests, and spectral figures that hint at a world steeped in superstition and fear. The trailer doesn't give much away in terms of gameplay, but the tone suggests a narrative-driven horror experience, possibly blending exploration with supernatural encounters. Fans have already drawn comparisons to titles like Fatal Frame and Kuon, pointing to a revival of classic Japanese horror aesthetics. What stands out is its chilling atmosphere, slow builds, unsettling sound design, and flashes of yokai-inspired creatures that feel deeply rooted in cultural myth. No platforms or release window were confirmed yet, but the reveal itself was enough to turn heads. Kaidan is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing unknowns from Gamescom 2025. La Divina Commedia was one of the most striking premieres at Gamescom 2025, revealed by Italian studio JAMA Games, with a trailer that fused poetry, horror, and brutal action. The footage opened with a warrior poet, his mouth sewn shut, wielding a massive sword as he descended into Dante's hell. What followed was a savage clash with a skull-faced demon, showcasing real in-engine combat that was as stylish as it was grotesque. The concept pulls directly from Dante Alighieri's epic poem, but twists it into a dark fantasy action RPG. Players journey through the circles of hell, confronting monstrous guardians while seeking redemption for a tainted past. The Gamescom showcase teased mechanics beyond pure combat, procedurally generated dungeons that must be escaped, a moral alignment system shaped by the 7 deadly sins, and fully customizable weapons and armor that blend narrative symbolism with gameplay power. Combat looked fluid and punishing, with weapon classes promising unique styles, from heavy greatswords to faster, more precise tools of destruction. The atmosphere was drenched in infernal imagery, towering spires, endless fire, and grotesque forms pulled straight from the pages of Dante's verse, but reimagined with modern visual fidelity. While no release date was given, La Divina Commedia is confirmed for PC via Steam, with additional platforms yet to be announced.
No respite, no remorse, no mercy. We are the wrath of the Emperor, his angels of death. But the Imperium lies broken, its armies scattered and reeling. Our foes rise to drag us down, and the galaxy has been torn asunder. On the world of Cronus, we make our stand. We are the Blood Ravens. There is no victory to claim here, only vengeance to enact. Whilst even one of us lives, we fight. For only in death does duty end.
Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 4 stormed back onto the battlefield at Gamescom 2025, delivering a trailer that reminded fans why this series defines real-time strategy in the grimdark future. The footage combined cinematic spectacle with glimpses of base construction and massive armies clashing on the war-torn tomb world of Cronus, where Necron legions awaken and every faction carves its claim in blood. The game marks the long-awaited return to the classic Dawn of War style. Base building, resource gathering, and large-scale battles take center stage again, supported by an overhauled sync-kill system that makes melee executions brutally cinematic. The Gamescom showcase confirmed 4 factions at launch: the iconic Blood Ravens, the mechanical might of the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Savage Orcs, and the Undying Necrons. Each comes with unique commanders, units, and mechanics that completely alter the flow of battle. Beyond skirmishes, Dawn of War 4 brings over 70 campaign missions, penned in part by Black Library author John French, and playable solo or in co-op. Multiplayer includes 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, plus the return of Last Stand, alongside robust customization with the Painter tool to make every army uniquely yours. Developed by King Art Games, best known for Iron Harvest, and published by Deep Silver, Dawn of War 4 aims to both honor the legacy and push it forward. The game is set to release in 2026 for PC, with console versions under consideration.
In an ale-induced stupor, a ghost of my former glory. Until one day when I was stabbed. I thought I died. Instead, I was given a second chance in a strange world, alongside rogues from across the timescape.
Hello. Hi. How you doing? I'm fine. I'm a boss. Get it right. If you don't think I'll say hi.
And we were promised to fix our past. I guess that's what we're here to do.
What you doing with no FAS like that? What you see? Oh, you like that? Yeah, she ain't like that. Body right face. Ooh, yeah, you like that. Oh, you like that? Yeah, you like that. Oh, you like that? Yes, like that. 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 Yes, like that.
Time Takers made its world premiere at Gamescom 2025, dropping one of the most chaotic and stylish trailers of the show. The reveal blended eras and genres into pure mayhem. Barbarians charging into battle beside samurai, medieval knights, and cybernetic ninjas, all colliding in a time-warped arena where every second counts. The Gamescom footage showcased the game's unique hook. Time energy isn't just a mechanic, it's your lifeline. Take damage and the clock ticks down, but defeat enemies or revive your squad and you steal back precious seconds. It transforms every firefight into a battle for survival, where skill keeps you alive and the timer pushes the tension higher with each clash. Combat unfolds in fast-paced third-person action, with each character archetype carrying its own style. Barbarians rely on raw strength, knights bring armored resilience, samurai deliver precision strikes, and ninjas combine agility with futuristic tech. The trailer hammered home that mix of old and new, steel swords clashing with cyber katanas under neon skies. Visually, Time Takers leans into a bold, exaggerated art direction, equal parts playful and brutal. And with its free-to-play launch on Steam, it's built to pull in squads looking for quick, adrenaline-charged sessions. Time Takers is coming soon as a free-to-play release on PC via Steam. Loose Vietnam made its debut during the Future Games show at Gamescom 2025, pulling the series' trademark large-scale warfare into one of history's most intense conflicts. The reveal trailer set the stage with thick jungle canopies, roaring helicopters, and soldiers moving cautiously through riverbeds, capturing the dread and chaos of the Vietnam War. This new entry stays true to the series' identity with 50 versus 50 battles, but the shift to Southeast Asia transforms the experience. Players will now rely on helicopters for air mobility, patrol boats to control the waterways, and even underground tunnel systems used by the North Vietnamese to strike from the shadows. Every engagement demands coordination. Lone wolf tactics simply won't survive here. The promise of authenticity shines through. Sprawling maps, atmospheric sound design, and the grit of combined arms combat that demands teamwork and strategy. It's not about personal glory, it's about survival, communication, and securing victory through coordinated effort. Hell Let Loose Vietnam is set to release in 2026 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X&S. Road Kings thundered onto the stage at Gamescom 2025, proving that trucking can be just as intense and cinematic as any blockbuster. Developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment, the reveal trailer captured the spirit of the open road, starting in a quiet diner before throwing players straight into a storm chase that turned every mile into a fight for survival. At its core, this is more than just a trucking simulator. Road Kings blends true-to-life driving physics, weight, wear, torque, and braking with a story-driven journey across the American South from the sun-drenched highways of Florida to the historic streets of Savannah. Every route tells a tale of ambition, rivalry, and resilience. You begin as a rookie driver, clawing your way up to become a respected owner-operator, making tough choices against rivals, clients, and even corrupt corporations. The Gamescom showcase highlighted how dynamic this world really is. Tornadoes, accidents, and disasters aren't just background, they're obstacles you'll face head-on. And beyond solo play, asynchronous multiplayer lets you form trucking companies with others, building reputations and competing on leaderboards for dominance of the road. Road Kings is set to release in 2026 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC.
Bianca, where have they taken you? God, hear my vow. Mother, you have given me the courage to be myself. Guide my steps on this forlorn journey. Father, you have taught me honor and respect. Watch upon me now. Let my sword strike true. And those that I have failed today, may I one day be worthy of your forgiveness. Bianca, you are all that is left to me. I shall save you. This, I vow.
1348 Ex Voto was officially revealed at the Future Games Show during Gamescom 2025, bringing players into the plague-ridden heart of medieval Italy. The trailer introduced Aida, a young noble-turned-knight who embarks on a desperate journey to rescue her closest companion, Bianca, after their village is torn apart by war. What stood out most was the authentic HEMA-inspired sword combat animated through performance capture. Players can switch between one-handed and two-handed stances, unlock new combos from skill books, and even customize weapon parts to match their fighting style. The environments shown in the reveal were striking. Medieval villages, Roman ruins, and war-scarred countrysides captured with stunning detail. Developed by the Italian studio Sedlio, the project leans heavily into historical accuracy while telling a deeply personal story of survival and loyalty. 1348 Ex Voto is set to launch in early 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC.
June 20th, 1982. I'm witnessing a disaster I'm not supposed to. I see dead people. They're turning down reactors. They keep bringing more bodies. And the wounded are suffering tremendously. Their bodies have been swollen and deformed. It's deteriorating. People need to know about this. People need to know about this. We're desperate here. The operation is getting out of...
What is this?
Hey! Who are you? I can't breathe! I don't want to die!
Operation Stutter made its chilling debut at Gamescom 2025 during the Future Games Show, pulling players straight into a Cold War-era research bunker. The trailer showed claustrophobic steel corridors, flickering lights, and a suffocating sense of paranoia, setting the stage for one of the event's most unsettling horror reveals. This is a first-person psychological horror where your only tool is a film camera. Every snapshot uncovers strange anomalies, fractured notes, and distorted recordings that piece together the truth about memory, identity, and reality itself. The Gamescom demo teased warped environments, propaganda-soaked visuals, and eerie surveillance aesthetics straight out of the 1980s. Developed by Kavir Entertainment, the first indie studio from Kurdistan, this debut project stood out not just for its concept, but for its unique voice in horror storytelling. Operation Stutter is confirmed for PC, consoles, and VR platforms, with the release date still to be announced.
Brilliant, relentless, magnetic. Her name was Herschel. Dark gold hair, a well-worn life beneath. A dandelion puff, waiting to be blown. She tried to look out for me. For us. None of it mattered in the end. Everything she touched rippled into failure.
Zero Parades was unveiled at Gamescom 2025, giving players their first look at Zaun's next chapter after Disco Elysium. The reveal trailer opened with static and the unsettling tick of a clock before a voice whispered, "I once knew a spy." From that moment, it was clear this wasn't a traditional RPG, but a surreal plunge into memory, ideology, and regret. The protagonist, Herschel Wilk, is a broken operative haunted by a failed mission pulled back into espionage for one final assignment. The Gamescom trailer cut between fragmented images of his world, streets blurred like half-finished paintings, doppelgangers flickering in and out of focus, and conspiracies stitched together from whispers and shadows. Every frame leaned into Zaun's signature painterly style, echoing Disco Elysium but shifting the tone towards spycraft and psychological dread. Gameplay details remain sparse, but it's clear Zero Parades is built as a narrative-driven CRPG, with isometric exploration, branching dialogue, and choices shaped as much by failure as by success. Ideological clashes take center stage, international bankers, techno-fascists, psychic doubles, each encounter designed to test not just your character, but your convictions. For now, Zero Parades is confirmed for PC via Steam, with no release date announced.
A quiet town, just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours. But it was here, on October 31st, 1963. No motive, no warning, no provocation, just senseless death. I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope, that he could be reached. But what I met was not a child. No emotion. Perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree. It was a reckoning.
Whoa, calm down. He was going to reach it. Come on, we have to go.
No. You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
Halloween the Game was officially unveiled at Gamescom 2025, bringing John Carpenter's horror classic back in chilling fashion. Developed by Ilphonic, the studio behind Friday the 13th the game, and in collaboration with Gun Interactive, the reveal trailer instantly captured the slasher's iconic atmosphere. The footage opens in Haddonfield on Halloween night. Quiet suburban streets bathed in orange glow, a sense of unease hanging in the air. Then comes the silhouette, Michael Myers. Players will step into his shoes, stalking victims with patience and precision, or fight for survival as townsfolk trying to outsmart the unstoppable killer. What makes this reveal so striking is the balance between single-player and asymmetrical multiplayer. Whether you're experiencing story-driven missions offline or joining the tense one versus many mode online, the game embraces both sides of the nightmare. Survivors rely on stealth, teamwork, and improvisation, while Myers thrives on fear itself. With John Carpenter himself attached as executive producer, this adaptation promises to honor the film's legacy while expanding its reach in interactive form. Halloween the Game is scheduled to release in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. At Gamescom 2025, Wargaming revealed a brand new twist on their franchise with World of Tanks Heat. The trailer opened with an alternate post-World War II world where armored divisions aren't just machines of war. They're commanded by elite agents, each with unique abilities that turn tank battles into something closer to a hero shooter. Gameplay showcased fast-paced 10v10 matches where customization takes center stage. Tanks can be upgraded with different weapons, armor modules, and battlefield skills, giving every match a tactical edge. Classic shooter modes like Domination and Kill Confirmed return, now reimagined for heavy metal warfare. Visually, the new proprietary engine adds a stylized edge. Explosions light up the field while tanks perform maneuvers that feel both cinematic and competitive. Wargaming emphasized a free-to-win approach, with monetization focused on cosmetics and battle passes rather than raw power. World of Tanks Heat launches with full crossplay and cross-progression across PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, though no firm release date was given at Gamescom. Revealed during the Future Games Show at Gamescom 2025, Active Matter brings a fresh spin to the extraction shooter genre. The trailer introduced us to operatives caught in a time loop, where every mission shifts the rules of survival. Environments reset, enemies adapt, and each loop challenges players to rethink their strategies on the fly. Gameplay showcased tense firefights and high-pressure objectives where the goal isn't just to fight through waves of enemies, but to successfully extract before the loop resets. It's a mix of tactical shooting and roguelike unpredictability, where no two runs ever feel the same. The presentation leaned into a slick sci-fi aesthetic with glowing environments, dynamic lighting, and weapons that feel futuristic yet grounded. What makes it stand out is the way the loot mechanics directly affect progression, pushing players to learn, adapt, and overcome with every reset. Active Matter is set to release on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, with a closed beta already underway for those eager to dive in early. At Gamescom 2025, El Presidente made his grand return with the reveal of Tropico 7. This time, the dictatorship sim pushes its sandbox further than ever before, introducing the power to terraform the island itself. Players can now reshape mountains, redirect rivers, and bend the land to match their political vision. The trailer highlighted some of the largest islands in franchise history, spread across massive sandbox layouts, full campaigns, and even a random map generator to keep every playthrough unique. Politics takes center stage with the new faction council system, where face-to-face negotiations and threats decide the fate of your regime in real time. Visually, Tropico 7 looks brighter and more dynamic than ever, capturing the chaos and charm of running a tropical nation where every decision builds or breaks your legacy. Tropico 7 is set to launch in 2026 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, and it'll arrive day one on Xbox Game Pass.